I just figured that they were fine because of the shoulder things and the helmet, and it never even crossed my mind that they would get hurt to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not a sports person either, but I know that at UTEP, all the basketball players, when they come into UTEP to play basketball, they have to take a test online, and it basically tracks like their eye movement and stuff. And then once they are hurt or injured in a game, they have to retake that test, and it basically measures their cognition and it assesses whether or not they're concussed. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I thought it kind of ties into this.
Yeah.
Because I thought their protective gear was actually protective, but I think it's the way it's made or the parts of the body that it protects, it doesn't actually protect on like hard impact or anything like that. But I thought that was good.
Wow, I didn't know that about UTEP. That's good.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
I wonder if all schools are like that or do that.
I think they might be, because I know that they just had to take like a eye tracking. I'm not sure what it's called. I could ask, but yeah, they had to do like something to make sure if they were ever concussed that it like showed. I guess I don't know if my explanation makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, for me, well, I played volleyball at UTEP for 2 years before I transferred here. So like all of the athletes here, we all had to take a pre-concussion exam. And I always thought I failed it the first time because I have horrible memory in the first place. But yeah, so it's just like a level to see where you're at. So when you do ever like feel concussed or anything, you take that test again. So they like see where you're at or if it's abnormal or what's going on. So yeah, I feel like that's a really good thing to do for all athletes.
What would happen if you were to do bad the first time and then you do even better the second time?
Yeah, I don't know.
What would they do based on that?
That probably like happened to me because I got a concussion once, and
Oh, really?
I thought I was fine the second time.
Did you have any of the symptoms that they were talking about, the nausea and the vomiting and the dizziness and the memory loss? Did you have any of that?
I just had a lot of dizziness. I did forget where I was for a second, but only because it was a really, really hard hit. Me and one of my teammates, we both went for a ball, and we both like crossed each other and both landed on our heads. So there's 2 concussions that game. And we both had to sit in the locker room, like in a dark room, no lights. They told us not to fall asleep. Like it was just really hard because you're just so tired and dizzy and like you just wanted to fall asleep, but they forced us not to. So
was this at UTEP?
It was really difficult.
When you were playing UTEP?
No, I played at New Mexico State too 1 year. So this happened there. Yeah.
You're a traitor to both.
I know. She goes to both tailgates.
No, go Miners. But yeah, it was just, it's hard for athletes, especially football, because that's so dangerous because it could cause serious brain damage like for the rest of their life, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you hear it all the time that in the NFL, like they're trying to perfect their like equipment to like, especially the helmet, where they're trying to make it, or I guess it says like as spongy as it could be inside the helmet. So if they were to get hit, like it would absorb most of the impact. But a lot of the times it still doesn't like help with the concussion because it's still like rattling your brain and everything when you're getting hit.
Right. I mean the movement.
Janet, are you recording? Because I'm not getting any volume on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in recording. Yeah.
I've just tried playing it back and I'm not getting any. I can see y'all talking, but I can't hear it.
No, yeah, I got you.
Oh, thank you.
I know, Mom.
So you guys read the article, right? We have the article. What'd you guys think of it?
It's tough, honestly. I mean, because the coach obviously had to get through the screening or whatever they had to do before, and he didn't go through it. And I mean, playing a sport that's very a risk of head concussions and any injuries, obviously you should be, more careful with that situation.
Like I feel like you said, Jose, like you know how like every year the NFL is like making their helmets and their shoulder pads better and stuff like that, but they help a little bit, but over the years, I just feel like, just like the athletes in football, like they're getting bigger and stronger and faster, and
Right. Yeah.
the hits that these people are getting hit with, like just looking at them, you can tell they hurt,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're putting their head down, like clashing like rams, and you can tell that's like a concussion, man, like for sure.
Or they land on
Even
their
then,
head.
like, they get in like heated arguments. Like, I don't know if you remember. I think it was this past season where it was a Steelers
Mhm.
player. I think it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
quarterback, Mike Rudolph or something.
Rudolph, yep.
Where
Yeah,
his helmet
they
flew
just,
off,
like,
no?
Yeah.
knocked him in the
Yeah, his
head.
helmet flew off, and then somebody else got like he was swinging his helmet at somebody else.
Yeah.
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 That was intense. Jesus.
Who's the Steelers fan in here?
Brianna.
It's always the Steelers.
Well,
We're the
Rowdy.
gangster fans.
It's either them or the Raiders.
oh my gosh. Oh, the Raiders, yeah.
Damn. No, but yeah, like, oh, I don't know. That's tough.
So, what about the film? What did you guys think about the film? It was very long, but it was very interesting.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Mhm.
I mean,
It was sad. Well, it was very sad too. To see all of them.
The way
Did you
he
guys
go-
see the feet, the pictures of the autopsy, like of his feet? How bad they were?
oh yeah.
I didn't even
Oh,
know
that
that.
looked-
Yeah.
That looked so painful.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Like what people see when they're watching the games, like they're seeing like they want this more, like like more clashes, more of this, more
Mm.
like being more rough, but then they don't see like the other side where what happens to the person after.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
seeing those pictures, I was like, wow.
Like after
You know
they
what?
retired.
They make so much money that I thought they just like, they just, I don't know, ended up somewhere like on a beach or something. You know?
Yeah,
That's
just
what I thought. I never imagined anything that I saw in that video. I never imagined it.
Well, I've kind of been like a big football fan too, and I've just seen over the years that like when they retire, they don't really live happy lives. They're usually depressed. They get into trouble a lot and stuff like that, and it's because of all those headshots and stuff like that. And
For
they
sure.
can't really function and stuff like that. And later on, when they die or do something crazy, when they get to examine the brain, then they can see all the concussions that sometimes the brain is just like jello when they actually get CAT scans and stuff like that,
Mhm.
just because it's so scrambled up in there.
I was looking at
Really
some pictures of brains, because what is it, CTE?
Mhm.
And you can see the huge difference between of like a normal brain and then their brains. It's so much
Mhm.
smaller and it's full of holes and even like a different color. It looks like it's been, I don't
I
know,
know.
kicked around or something.
Mm-hmm.
God.
And you expect those people to just function like normal people when their brain is not normal at all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because of all those hits. It's also because I think another factor is the amount of adrenaline that is pumping through
Mhm.
them during these games. And then once they've retired, they don't have that feeling anymore. So they chase that feeling through other things. And I think that's why a lot of them turn to gambling or drug addiction or battle with alcoholism. And it's because they're chasing that thrill. They're trying to achieve that same level of the adrenaline rush as they faced in those games. Because, when you're in a stadium or you're on a field, everyone's looking at you and you have all this like notoriety and you're popular. And so they just chase that feeling, I think. And that's why they end up leading lives that are less than fulfilling, I think. And it's very sad.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, that's not the norm. And yeah, everyone experiences different things, I think.
Yeah.
Like the way that he went through
Yeah.
depression like that, and he was living in his truck or stuff like that, his divorce or like separated. Like it's crazy. Like you don't
Isn't that
imagine.
sad?
Yeah, you don't imagine like, these professional athletes, living that life after being looked up for. Looked up. From, yeah.
Admired.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
But it's so much money that they make. I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's the gambling or the drugs, but how do you end up living in your car after making all that money?
All the bills probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know.
They probably
They
didn't
might not
invest.
understand how to fund it just because they have so much.
Mm-hmm.